Managing the lawn in a large garden like mine has always been a challenge. So whether you have a push mower or a ride-on, mowing is difficult and time consuming. And who has time for all that with so many flowers and plants to plant in your garden and enjoy? A neat lawn really boosts the floral symphony, but a messy lawn will detract and undermine all your good work. I'm Rachel from Douentza Garden and Gardening at Douentza YouTube channel, and in today's video I want to share with you why I've chosen the NeomowX robotic lawnmower from Hookii as the solution to my lawn maintenance. Hello and welcome to this video all about my experience in setting up and using the NeomowX robotic mower from Hookii. Now, I had been on the lookout for a robotic mower for some time, but I was always put off by the old technology, which insisted that we had to lay cables around the edges of all the flower beds in the garden. All of the flower beds? That would be an impossible task for me. My garden is 4,000 square meters with multiple beds, and it was just far too off-putting. Lots of people have complex gardens, and as we get older we want to waste less of our precious time on the lawn. Who chooses to mow grass when there are flowers to plant, deadheading to do, playing with the kids or grandchildren, or even just sitting back to sniff the lilies and enjoy your garden? As a gardener and YouTuber, I was contacted by several companies offering their robotic mowers for trial. But I selected Hookii for two very good reasons. Firstly, this mower is cutting edge when it comes to robotic lawn mowers. Pun very much intended. The NeomowX series includes two robotic mowers for different lawn sizes. Both models feature the world's first 3D LiDAR SLAM and Vision Fusion technology, which operates without boundary cables or RTK systems. This advanced solution is particularly effective in areas where satellite signals may be lost, such as under dense tree cover or near tall buildings. Secondly, I wanted a mower for use in my own garden, not one that I was paid to promote. I've had this mower for 3 months so far, providing feedback to Hookii on any glitches and watching them be ironed out in subsequent mower updates. I'm happy with how this mower works in my garden, and going forward on this channel you'll continue to hear about NeomowX in my monthly garden tour videos. NeomowX arrived by post in March this year. It was very exciting to unbox it. The mower was really well wrapped, and the box will be useful for winter storage afterwards, as the battery operating temperature range must stay between 0 degrees centigrade and 45 degrees centigrade. The mower comes with a quick guide to get you up and running, but also a more in-depth manual. The charging station is best placed indoors, but can be placed outside as I've done. It needs unobstructed space of 0.5 metre on either side and 2 metres in front. If placed with a wall behind, it needs 20 centimetres between it and the wall. The dock needs to be bolted down so it doesn't move, and the power adapter must not be exposed to water. The mowers currently only come with EU standard plugs. Charging time takes 3 hours, and this gives 2 hours of mowing time. The next step is to download the app onto your phone and start mapping your garden. You need to help your mower create a virtual map of your garden so that it knows how far the garden stretches and won't go beyond. Even if, like me, you don't have Wi-Fi in your garden, know that the mower works using Wi-Fi, 4G and Bluetooth. So you walk the mower around the garden, mapping the perimeter of the lawn. This is the bit that takes time, as you need to stay close to your NeomowX as you do so. There are 4 elements to mapping. The first is to define one or more mowing areas. This is done by taking the mower around the edge of the lawn or mowing area. You could just define one mowing area for the whole garden, but it makes more sense to define a couple and save each separately. This way, if something goes wrong when mapping, you'll only have lost the map of a smaller area rather than everything. Besides, afterwards you'll be able to set up a different mowing schedule for a particular lawn, which might be advantageous in places where the grass is more or less vigorous. Separate mowing areas are also useful for areas of the lawn that change. For example, this is my daffodil lawn. I don't want it mowed from spring until June because the daffodils are blooming and we need to let the leaves die back naturally afterwards. The leaves have now withered and it has just been manually cut, so I want it to be included in the NeomowX mowing from now onwards. There are two ways to deal with this. I could create a second version of the mowing area that includes this segment to be used only from June to winter. Or the second way, if the area is big enough to stand alone, that means wider than 1.5 meters, would be to create a small additional mowing lawn that just mows my daffodil lawn to be used from June to winter. In my garden, we have 3 mowing areas on the main side. We may set up a fourth to accommodate the daffodil lawn, and will eventually set up a fifth when we have purchased a little ramp to allow NeomowX to get into the west side of the garden. Initially, we set up 11 mowing areas, but this seemed to make the map unstable and the support team advised us to reduce our maps to 3. Since then, all has gone well. The second element in mapping is to define the no-go zones. These would be for island beds, ponds, features, etc. that fall within the mowing area you have just established. The process is the same, walking the mower around the outside of these features. The third element to mapping is to define passages. A passage is the way the mower travels from one mowing area to another, and it does this without mowing. And the final element to mapping is the recharge path. If your mower runs low on battery while mowing, it needs to know the path it should follow to return to its dock. It will not mow while it's doing this. By the way, you should know that you can modify the boundary on maps afterwards by small amounts. This is useful if you want your mower to go a little closer in a particular area, but don't make modifications wider than 1 meter. When mapping, there are a couple of things to consider. The NeomowX climbs slopes up to 24 degrees, that's 45%, and handles bumps up to 5 centimeters, ensuring smooth mowing on all terrains. My first concern when we got the mower was that it wouldn't even be able to get onto our lawn in the first place. However, as you see, it easily mounted this little hill that leads to the main garden. The back part of the garden has an upward slope, and this also was no problem at all for NeomowX. In addition, I was also pleasantly surprised to find that the mower managed to cross areas of the garden which have lots of tree roots. Just bear in mind that if you choose to mow in the rain, an option which you can set on or off, such areas may become more difficult for your mower to pass over in the wet. In mapping, the NeomowX should not go closer than 5 centimeters to the edges. In some places, it needs 10 centimeters. If you map too closely, you may find that it gets stuck. This is particularly relevant for gardens like mine, where the border edges have a drop. Of course, I tried initially to map as close as I possibly could to the edge, but the mower would regularly fall in and need to be lifted out. So finally, I mapped according to the manufacturer's instructions, coming out 10 centimeters from such drops. It's a pity that the NeomowX can't mow right up to the border edges, but in the end, it's the same problem that you would have with a ride-on mower. Oh, and watch out when you recut your border edges in spring that you don't enlarge the bed too much without remapping the mower's path. In addition, your mower cannot pass down narrow paths. They need to be a minimum of 77 centimeters wide. You'll be able to successfully map narrow paths like this, but then find that when mowing, the mower stalls and needs rescuing. The same goes for overhanging trees, which the mower will avoid to protect itself from damage. This path is an excellent example of a double no-no. The grasses on either side are such that the mower will not pass between them, and even if it did, the path itself is too narrow. So this needs to be hand mown. Incidentally, NeomowX does have a manual control option, so you could get it to mow this difficult area if you stand over it. Once the mapping is done, you can set the mowing height and let your NeomowX start to mow. Now this whole process goes so much more quickly than it did with the old-fashioned method of burying cable around all the flower beds in your garden. You will probably want to follow your mower around the first time it mows, but you don't have to. You can remotely control and monitor the Hookii NeomowX through the phone app you downloaded. You can see where it is in your garden, how much it has mowed, and also if it has gotten stuck. If the mower gets stuck, you will need to physically go to the spot to assess that there is no danger. Lift the mower out of the border edge it has probably fallen into. Press the OK button on top of the machine and press Start in your phone app. In cases of problems, the friendly Hookii support team are on hand to offer help and advice. The app allows you to easily set up mowing schedules, to ad hoc set it to mow one or more areas, or to stop the mower. If you use the schedule, it requires you to specify particular days in the week for mowing. I hope new upgrades will include the facility to set it for perhaps every 3 days. You can now mow the grass while on holiday. How wonderful is that? Imagine coming back to a neat garden rather than grass up to your knees. The Hookii NeomowX features a low noise design operating at noise levels below 60 decibels. It won't disturb you or your neighbours, and it can even work at night without affecting your rest. It mows really well in large, uncomplicated spaces, leaving nice stripes on your lawn. It makes stripes parallel to the longest side of the mowing area. The mower may be a bit confusing to watch as it moves in a zigzag pattern to mow the middle section of a mowing area first and then finally mows around the edges. It seems to do a lot of turning and adjusting its position even when no obstacles are present, and this is quite normal and it gets the job done in the end. If patch mowing is enabled, the mower will automatically return later to mow any patch it missed. So why would it miss a patch? This comes down to the NeomowX's excellent safety features. It detects obstacles as small as 1 centimetre wide and 15 centimetres high and goes around them. This means that it will not harm small animals such as rabbits or hedgehogs, or damage objects such as children's toys. It has a 111-degree bumper, which ensures smooth, safe mowing every time. Do, however, make sure to remove hoses, power cables, sticks and stones from your lawn before setting NeomowX to mow. As an additional safety feature, there's a large red stop button on top of the mower, which can be pressed by anyone to stop the mower in an emergency. So I do hope you found this video on NeomowX by Hookii, my robotic mower of choice, useful. And if you're interested in purchasing a robotic mower yourself, then do check out Hookii's website, where I'm sure all of your questions will be answered and will help you in making your decision. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!